You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Hey guys, Matt here. I'm really excited to tell you about today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and as a person that used to eat 7 microwavable dinners a week, it's a game changer. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Fall is upon us, which means it's time to fire up that oven for farm-fresh produce and autumn-inspired recipes sent right to your door. You'll never get bored with HelloFresh because they have so many different options and a rotating menu of over 50 recipes each week. About a year ago, I decided to try eating healthier and cooking my own meals at home. I'd go to the grocery store and would just be overwhelmed by how many choices and options and ingredients I'd need, so I'd give up and go right to the sandwich shop. Then I tried HelloFresh. They took out all the guesswork with pre-portioned ingredients that made cooking quick, easy, and delicious. My personal favorite, the pub-style shepherd's pie. Today we have a special offer for our listeners where you can get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free Triviality. Applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/free Triviality.
This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome back to Triviality Bloodsport. This is episode 3, the Showdown, between Matt and Jeanie. They're both back to face off in this bloody battle that we call Bloodsport. And to make sure that we have a nice clean match is Ryan. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited to referee this bloodbath.
So, Ryan, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the questions.
So, folks, if you forgot, the way the Showdown works is it's just best of 10 questions. Simple as that. Whoever's got the most at the end is good. If there's a tie, I will write more questions on the spot. I don't know.
I believe it.
I did it yesterday, y'all. I accidentally for Matt's context, I accidentally pasted the answer into the very last question. And so I was like, give me like 60 seconds, and I wrote a whole new question.
Nice.
Okay, question number 1 for both of you. This one does not have the answer based on it. The cookware manufacturer Nordicware trademarked which name for a pan they started selling in the 1950s that became increasingly popular for desserts that decade? You'll just, if you have your guess, just say you've locked in. Other remaining person can talk it out, then we'll get answers.
I have a guess.
All right, Matt, you're good to talk it out then.
Well, let's see. A pan for desserts that's fairly Nordic in nature or Nordic sounding. I've got a word that's the name of a pan that sounds fairly Nordic, and I will take a stab with bunt.
And Jeanie.
I was also thinking boot.
It absolutely is. That's 1 point for each of you. Number 2, Jane Wiedlin, who played Joan of Arc in the first Bill and Ted movie and the singing telegram girl in Clue, is best remembered for being the rhythm guitarist in which band?
Again, I probably have a guess.
All right, Matt, you're good to think aloud.
Okay, it's down to the 2 bands that I always get confused, even though they don't actually sound the same, but they're relatively around the same time, and they just get conflated in my head. I think this is not the Bangles. This is the Go-Go's.
All right, and Jeanie?
I was also thinking the Go-Go's.
It is the Go-Go's. Another point for both of you. Very well done. Question number 3. Ernest Tidyman has 2 iconic bits of 70s crime to his name. He won an Oscar for adapting The French Connection to the screen and also wrote the popular novels turned films featuring which detective?
I probably have a guess.
All right, Matt?
Okay. I think, goodness. Novels starring films featuring which detective? I don't think it's right. I think the right answer is the name that's escaping me, and the wrong answer is the one that I have in my head, which is very unfortunate. I will guess Sam Spade.
Sam Spade and Jeanie.
My only thought on this one was French Connection, and so I just thought maybe Hercule Poirot.
The correct answer here is John Shaft.
Oh, nice.
He's a bad mother.
Nice.
When I learned it was the same guy, it was
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah. Question number 4. Jean-Pierre Rampal, James Galway, Ian Anderson, and Melissa Jefferson are all artists noted for playing which instrument?
I'll lock in.
Ooh, Jeanie, it's your time to think out loud.
Yikes. I don't know if thinking out loud's going to help me much. Jean-Pierre Rampal, Melissa Jefferson, artists noted for playing which instrument? The only kind of game theory I could go at this point is that it's probably not bass guitar because that was already brought one up once, but maybe I'll just the accordion.
Accordion and Matt.
I happened to get this one wrong on a piece of trivia not too long ago with a James Galway related question. So I'm glad I get a chance at redemption. These are all flautists who play the flute.
Yes, they do. Ian Anderson for Jethro Tull and Melissa Jefferson is Lizzo. Flute is correct. That is 1 point for Matt Takamoto. Question number 5 is incoming. The Vaal River and the geographic area north of it called the Transvaal are most closely tied to which country? Vaal, for the folks at home, is a V-A-A-L.
I can lock in.
All right. Matt, you're good to think aloud if you like.
Well, I'm betting this is, well, actually, I don't know for sure, but my thought is that it's somewhere far north. So, because Vaal sounds Scandinavian-ish, although we did just have a Nordic question. I'm not going to overthink it here. Let's go with Norway.
Norway and Jeanie.
I'm thinking Transvaal, Transylvania, Romania.
The Transvaal is the northern part of South Africa.
Oh.
Yeah, British colonial history stuff right there too.
You had me convinced, Jeanie. I thought you were right.
I know. I was like, man.
That was really well thought out.
A good wrong answer is almost as satisfying as a good right. Ken, we're halfway through. What do you got score-wise for us?
Yes, looks like Matt has a slight lead with 3 of these questions right, and Jeanie behind with 2.
Ooh, it's close, y'all. It's coming down the backstretch with question number 6. Which sobriquet is most commonly ascribed to former Ottoman leader Suleiman I?
I'll lock in.
All right. Jeanie, gonna do a little thinking aloud.
Yeah, let's see. Oh gosh, Ottoman leader. So I do think I feel like I should know this. I guess maybe just Grand Turk. I don't.
Grand Turk and Matt.
I think this would be Suleiman the Magnificent.
He is the Magnificent. That is correct. Point for Matt Takamoto. Matt, you just have one of those full names that just rolls off the tongue.
I had been thinking it the whole time. I was like, Ryan always says my full name, and I love it.
Dude, if you have a tip-top name like that, every time, constantly.
Yep.
The third shift worker, my guy at the museum, he has another name like that where if you just refer to him by his first name, we all are like, who are you talking about? His name is Michael Chris, which is beautiful. Hey, question number 7. The classic 20th century thriller novels The Day of the Jackal, The Odessa File, and The Fourth Protocol were all penned by which English novelist and journalist?
I'll just lock in with a guess. I have no idea.
All right, Jeannie's in with a guess.
I've got a lot of names floating around in my head. Let's see. See, this is where I struggle in trivia because I can never remember like which people are English and which people are American and which people are Irish, and it kills me every time.
It's like Coke Diet Coke and Coke Zero.
Right. Like, come on.
What does that make Australians? Like
New Coke.
New Coke.
I love you,
It's
Mara.
just
Sorry.
it's like Kirk. Is that how you say Coke in an Australian accent?
No.
So yeah, Mara's not in the room, so you guys feel obliged to say this. But when Mara gets back, she'll have a word to say, I'm sure.
He's about to win every episode for the remainder of the series.
Listen, her Sydney Swans beat my Gold Coast Suns by about 1,000 points this year, so I have to get my digs in when I can. I will lock in with John Le Carre.
Jean Le Carre and Jeanie.
It's funny because what I know is a wrong guess was John Le Carre because I've read so many of his novels and none
Jean
of
Le
these are
Carre,
good.
yeah. It's a good guess, but not him. Frederick Forsyth is basically under Jean Le Carre, and underneath him is Len Dayton, and then Frederick Forsyth.
The Night Manager.
The Night Manager. I had one of the few TV shows I actually watched. Hey, let's do question number 8. Julia Child's debut cookbook was titled Mastering the Art of what 2-word thing? And since it is a title, I do need the exact 2 words. As is obvious, but still.
I have a guess.
All right. Jeannie's all guessed and locked. Matt.
I feel much better about the first half than the second half. I will say that the 2 words you're looking for are French cuisine.
French cuisine. And Jeanie.
It was exactly what I was thinking as well.
The title of the book is Mastering the Art of French Cooking.
See,
Cuisine's
that was
a scary word. That would scare the average 1950s American.
Oh, yeah.
That's too French.
I mean, bunt cakes were pretty exotic, I hear.
Right.
They're close. That was post-war Germany. We're okay with that. Hey, let's do question number 9. Who has been the ACLU's lead lawyer for cases involving trans discrimination and representation? He represented Chelsea Manning and Gavin Grimm, and also went as Laverne Cox's date to the 2019 Primetime Emmy Awards.
I will lock in.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll just say I'm a bad ally for not knowing, but I'll just pass. I'm not going to venture, I guess.
Hey, I'm queer myself, and I only learned about this person recently, so you're fine. Matt?
I'm running on empty with this question, so I flipped a coin between Jackson or Brown, and I'm locking in with Jackson.
Shut up. The correct answer is Chase Strangio. Chase Strangio, like Strangio. Chase Strangio. All right, last question. Let's talk about number 10, friends. Number 10. Who took the last ever posed photograph of John Lennon, the shot where he was nude and cuddled up against his wife, Yoko Ono?
I'm talking it out. Let's see. I will go. Let's pick somebody who was New York-ish, maybe, because they were living there at the time. Let's go Annie Leibovitz.
Annie Leibovitz and Jeanie.
Yeah, that was my guess, too.
It is Annie Leibovitz. You are absolutely correct. Ken, where does that leave us?
And with that, Jeanie, it's been a tough game for both competitors. Jeanie racked up 3 points, but Matt had 5. Jeanie, you have forged a great career as a female boxer after a pretty tough upbringing, tough relationship with your mother. But unfortunately, Matt has sucker punched you, and you have hit the chair, and it's over for you. We're pulling the plug. But Jeanie, thank you so much for joining us on Bloodsport. Any final statements?
Ever the pleasure, and I can't wait for the next time because I'm a glutton for punishment, obviously.
Yeah, and we can't wait to have you back. Matt, you forge on, you fight another day. Ryan, great questions today, great hosting. We appreciate all the work that you put into Bloodsport. And on that note, we say goodbye to Jeanie. We thank Airwave Media, our network, where you can find other great podcasts such as Art Smart, the Explorers Podcast, and Monster Talk. Make sure you check out some of those, and we'll see you next time on Triviality Bloodsport.
From the creators of the popular science show with millions of YouTube subscribers comes the Minute Earth podcast. Every episode of the show dives deep into a science question you might not even know you had. But once you hear the answer, you'll want to share it with everyone you know. Why do rivers curve? Why did the T-Rex have such tiny arms? And why do so many more kids need glasses now than they used to? Spoiler alert, it isn't screen time. Our team of scientists digs into the research and breaks it down into a short, entertaining explanation, jam-packed with science facts and terrible puns. Subscribe to Minute Earth wherever you like to listen.
If you're listening to this podcast, then we know you love learning. So let me tell you about Airwave History Plus, now available on Apple Podcasts. Airwave History Plus is your ticket to ad-free listening, bonus content, and early episodes from dozens of the most popular history podcasts, including History That Doesn't Suck, The Explorers Podcast, The History of World War II, Queen's Podcast, The History of Egypt, The Age of Napoleon, and more. For your free trial, search Airwave History Plus on Apple Podcasts and hit subscribe. That's Airwave History Plus, available now on Apple Podcasts. Airwave History Plus, the essential audio destination for history lovers.